Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News and Indian Perspective on All India Radio. This is Manoj Singh Rana bringing glimpses of major developments of the day from across the globe. The headlines. Nepal Parliament dissolved. Elections to be held on April 30th and May 10th next year. India lambasts Pakistan for baseless and fabricated allegations over Indian forces. US President-elect Joe Biden avows US return to the Paris Agreement. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson imposes tighter coronavirus curbs over Christmas. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Gurudwara Rakabganj Sahib in New Delhi, pays rich tributes to Guru Tegh Bahadur. And Indian boxers shine at the Cologne World Cup. In a surprise move, Nepal President Bidya Devi Bhandari today dissolved Parliament and announced mid-term elections in April-May next year. The move comes in the wake of the request made by the Nepali cabinet. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli led cabinet held an emergency meeting this morning and recommended to the President the dissolution of the Parliament. The President's office accepted the recommendations and issued statement that the elections will be held on April 30th and May 10th next year. The 275-member lower house of Parliament or the House of Representatives was elected in 2017 for a 5-year term. Analysts attribute the latest political developments in Nepal to the rising intra-party rift in the Nepal Communist Party between the factions led by Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli and Pushpakamal Dahal. A section of the ruling Nepal Communist Party has expressed dissent at the dissolution of Parliament. The main opposition party, the Nepali Congress, has termed the Prime Minister's move to dissolve the Parliament as authoritarian and said the party would resist it. India has lambasted Pakistan for its unsubstantiated allegations of Indian forces targeting a UN vehicle. In a statement responding to media queries, the External Affairs Ministry of India said the allegations were factually incorrect and false. Spokesperson of the ministry stated that the Indian forward troops were aware of the visit of the UN military observers in the area and did not conduct any firing as alleged. He told that Pakistan should investigate its own lapses in ensuring security of the UN personnel in the territory under its control instead of repeating baseless and fabricated allegations against India. 8 people were killed and more than 15 others were wounded in a car bomb blast in Kabul. Interior Ministry spokesman Tariq Aryan blamed terrorists for the attack and said casualties included women and children. US envoy to Afghanistan Mr. Zamay Khalilzad expressed grief through Twitter over the news of the death of innocents and said it was heartbreaking. He urged the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan and the Taliban to respect the demands of their people and reach a political agreement as soon as possible. US President-elect Joe Biden has stated that he would bring the United States back into the Paris Agreement and lead the world in fighting climate change again. Announcing the key members of his environmental team, he said the world looks to the leadership of the United States to beat climate change and deliver environmental justice.
We'll bring America back into the Paris Agreement and put us back in the business of leading the world on climate change again. Folks, we're in a crisis. Just like we need to be a unified nation in response to COVID-19, we need a unified national response to climate change.
Vice President-elect Kamala Harris in her address stated that it is the poor communities and communities of color that bear the greatest risks from polluted air, water and a failing infrastructure. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. Now the coronavirus updates from around the world. Amidst rising number of coronavirus cases over the past 2 weeks, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has imposed tighter curbs over Christmas across the country. Britain is now grappling with a new, more infectious strain of the COVID-19. Scientists claim that it is up to 70% more transmissible. Mr. Johnson said that London and South East England would now be placed in a new Tier 4 level. People in Tier 4 will be required to stay at home except for essential reasons. The new rules will come into effect from Sunday night.
As Prime Minister, it's my duty to take difficult decisions, to do what is right to protect the people of this country. Given the early evidence we have on this new variant of the virus, the potential risk it poses, it is with a very heavy heart, I must tell you, we cannot continue with Christmas as planned.
Travel has been banned between Scotland and the rest of the UK as the country grapples with a new variant of the virus. In a related development, the WHO has said that it is in close contact with the UK officials on the new COVID-19 virus variants, and they will continue to share info and results of their analysis and ongoing studies. France Prime Minister Jean Castex stated that the country could start receiving the COVID-19 vaccine developed by Pfizer-BioNTech in the last week of December if the European Union authorities approve it next week. Israel kicked off a coronavirus vaccination drive with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu invoking the Bible and the 1969 lunar landing as he got the country's first vaccine shot. India's Defence Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, inaugurated the Advanced Hypersonic Wind Tunnel HWT test facility. The state-of-the-art HWT test facility is a pressure vacuum-driven enclosed free jet facility. India becomes the third country after the USA and Russia to have such a large facility in terms of size and operating capability. The indigenous development is an outcome of synergistic partnership with Indian industries. It can stimulate supersonic flow over a wide spectrum and will play a major role in the realization of highly complex futuristic aerospace and defense systems. The Defense Minister congratulated the scientists on their achievements. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today visited historic Gurudwara Rakabganj Sahib in New Delhi, where the pious Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji's mortal remains were cremated. The Prime Minister paid tributes to the courageous Guru Tegh Bahadur, who made supreme sacrifice for a noble cause a few centuries ago. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said he felt extremely blessed as he and millions around the world are deeply inspired by the kindness of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur. Mr. Modi called upon people to mark the 400th Parkash Parv of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur in a historic manner and celebrate the ideals of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. Guru Tegh Bahadur, the ninth Guru, was born in 1621 and was martyred in 1675 in Delhi in a public execution under the Mughal rule. His Excellency Sheikh Nasser Sabah Al-Ahmad Al-Sabah, former First Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defence of the State of Kuwait, passed away on Sunday. India's ambassador to Kuwait expressed deep condolences over the sad demise. He tweeted that with his passing away, India has lost a dear friend who contributed immensely in the growth of the India-Kuwait relations. The European Union's chief negotiator on Brexit, Michel Barnier, on Sunday said that talks with Britain over a post-Brexit trade deal were at a crucial point and that the negotiations continued. Taking to Twitter, Mr. Barnier said that the EU remains committed to a fair, reciprocal and balanced agreement. He added that they respect the sovereignty of the UK, expect the same. Moving on to sports now, Indian boxers bagged 9 medals including 3 gold, 2 silver and 4 bronze at the Cologne Boxing World Cup ended in Cologne, Germany yesterday. Amit Panghal won gold in the men's category, while Manisha Mon and Simranjeet Kaur won gold in the women's category. Lionel Messi equaled Pele's record of 643 goals for a single club after scoring for Barcelona against Valencia in La Liga on Saturday. India is celebrating the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end, let us listen to his favorite bhajan, Vaishnav Jan, by artists from Bahrain.
Vaishnav Jana to teni kahiye se tiji parai jani re pari suke upkar kare to ye mane abhimani nani re.
And with that, we end this bulletin. See you at same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.